Now that you know what trope is, our tour of the Trope-ics continues with how trope works. A trope symbol represents a series of musical notes, anywhere from 2 to 10 or more notes. In any reading, there is one trope symbol on each word. The symbol appears either above or below the word. Its location on the word indicates where to emphasize the trope on the word, but don't spend too much time thinking about that. Instinctively, most people get it right most of the time. Each trope symbol has a name. When learning the trope melodies, people typically learn to sing them by name. That general approach, which isn't specific to any reading, makes it easy to use the trope on any reading. So, what does this look like? Here is a phrase from the Torah as it appears with letters and vowels. Now, this is what that same text looks like with the trope symbols added. The trope symbols are in color here to help you see how they appear. There's one per word, except the first word, which has 2. Sometimes the symbol is above the word, sometimes below. There are about 24 trope symbols. Here's an example of how they can be organized. Sometimes, several trope symbols combine to make a trope phrase. The first 7 lines of this trope sheet have that. For example, the third line on the sheet is a phrase of 4 symbols that are the end of every verse. The second line is a phrase of 4 symbols that always appear once in the middle of a verse. The words on this sheet are the names of the trope symbols. That means when someone learns to sing this sheet, they're learning the names at the same time that they learn the melodies. How's that for efficiency? What's the difference between all those different tropes for Torah, Haftarah, Esther, and the rest? In all biblical texts, the trope symbols and the names of those symbols are the same. So, if you learn the trope symbols by name once, you know them for everything. The one difference in trope between the Torah, Haftarah, and the others is the melody for those trope. For example, for Torah trope, here is the typical trope phrase that ends every verse. Mercha tipcha, mercha siluk. Now, here is the typical trope phrase that ends every Haftarah verse. Notice how they look identical? The symbols and their names are identical. What's different is the melody, which for Haftarah is this. Mercha tipcha, mercha siluk. Do you hear the difference? Torah sounds like Mercha tipcha, mercha siluk. Haftarah sounds like Mercha tipcha, mercha siluk. How do we keep the melodies straight between Torah and Haftarah? Simple. We learn each separately. That is, it's easiest to spend some time learning Torah trope, only Torah trope. Once you know that very well and even apply it to a reading to show you mastered it, then you work on Haftarah trope. They don't get mixed up if they're not learned mixed together. In our final exciting episode, you'll see how to use the trope to sing an actual biblical reading.